Yeah, hello everyone. How you guys doing today? What's going on, guys? What's going on? Happy gardening, happy gardening. All right, guys. How you guys doing? Well, we in the heart of just hope everyone doing good. I just wanna say shout out to each and everyone for all the support. Shout out to all my members. Shout out to all the moderators. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you all. So, all right, guys, we're going to be talking a little about gardening today. And let's try to motivate some more people into getting on into gardening and be more self sufficient, able to provide in a more independent manner for themselves. We also want to help people how to make their own fertilizer, their own compost, because sometimes being dependable sometimes could be a problem. Meaning, if you're depending on manure and fertilizer to grow your food, if one day they decide there's no manure, then what you gonna do? How you gonna feed your family? You see what I'm saying? So I just wanna say that for now, and guys, just give me 1 second. All right. So how you guys doing today? Give me 1 second, guys. All right, all right. So what's going on, guys? What's going on? I know we in the heart of garden season. Hold on. I know we in the heart of garden season, and right now we now coming out of the fall. Coming out, sorry, not coming out the spring gardening and summer gardening, and we heading into the fall now. So now we're trying to grow fall crop. We're trying to grow a fall crop now, which is like brassica, collard greens, and this type of stuff. Because for some people, Thanksgiving is coming, and it's good if you could grow your own collard greens and have some fresh collard greens for your family. Give me 1 second, guys. Hold on. So, okay, sorry, guys. Yes, guys. So I know it's good to grow some fresh collard greens for you and the family for Thanksgiving. What is better than that, right? So now we in the heart of gardening and spring gardening, and we're trying to do as much as we can before the weather change. But at the same time, there's a lot of food you can grow that can stand the weather. Collard greens, broccoli, carrots, beets, these kind of stuff. But my thing is, I prefer to grow food that can actually last out through the winter without using a refrigerator. And times like these, I think it's very important for us to also be getting our soil together for the next spring. Container gardeners, I will tell you guys this today as a container gardener. You grow your food in containers. If you're growing your food in containers, you should definitely be trying to get some your soil together in at least in the winter. Get your soil together in the winter so when the spring come, the soil already prepare and ready for planting. So when you plant, instead of your plant stunted and not growing, not moving, not developing, it stand the best a chance. So I will say, make sure. Hey, Fifi Johnny, how you doing? Thank you for being here. What I will say, make sure you take some time, or if you're gonna be using the containers, hello Food Forest, what's up? If you're gonna be using the containers, at least get some compost, some leaf, some grass clipping, whatever you can have, and put in a small little area. Prep yourself, get yourself ready for the next garden season. This is actually how you get great production out of your garden. This is how you get beautiful harvest. You see? So my thing is preparing your soil in the fall. You will able to get a more productive garden season. Instead of you wait for the spring to now start to add your little compost and these things, do it in the fall. Or at least if you're using the container, like I now mentioned, have a little area where you could put your little compost to break down so you could add as soon as you make your harvest. The truth is, guys, sometimes certain crop you grow, sometimes it's best to just take them out. Some of them, from the time they give you that beautiful harvest, sometimes it's just to get them out and replant something else. Like for instance, I'm gonna use this crop, broccoli. Let me see. Okay, I'll go in the chat a minute. Broccoli. Broccoli is a beautiful plant, and broccoli produce a nice head. All right? All right, take care, take care. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you coming to Food Forest. All right. All right, take care. No. That's why I don't like to cut off. Sometimes I just like to focus on what I'm saying. Yes, so now, okay, let me go back to container. So container garden, you prepare it before the spring and you have it sitting. When we talk about broccoli, broccoli is a beautiful, beautiful crop, right? Beautiful plant. But sometimes you got to know when to pull up a broccoli plant and replant something else. Sometimes you got to know when to take out a plant and replant it. Because sometimes once that plant already produced, it's not going to be giving you that same amount of harvest. It may put out some small little one. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes what we got to do, we got to take out these plants and replant something new. You don't have time to waste. And why I'm saying this is, if you know you have a short growing season, you got to make sure you do things that you will able to have a productive year, a productive harvest, a time where you will be able to harvest in abundance because that's your growing season. Your growing season is when you're supposed to do things to get the most out of your garden. production out of your garden. Hey, my pescatarian, how you doing? Thank you for being here. At the end of the day, we are looking for the same thing. Well, gardeners, all gardeners looking for the same thing. And what is the same thing? Production. Production. This is what gardeners looking for. Production, meaning able to gain as much food as they can within their growing season. You see what I'm saying? They want to able to gain as much harvest as they can within their growing season. This is why you got to study and think. For the new gardeners, my thing is, especially for the new gardeners, my thing is, you might, you're learning, you're learning, and many people did not really grow up growing food or be around garden and this kind of stuff. So what my thing is to you is, if you want to grow a garden, if you're thinking about growing a garden, my thing is sit down and think about the things. Think about the things you want to grow. Think about the food you want to grow and sit down and think about it. You don't just want to plant anything. You want to plant the food you love and the food you have space to accommodate. Yes. You want to, you know what I'm saying? You want to make sure you plan that you can get the most out of it. So at the end of the day, we all looking for the same thing. And what is the same thing? Production. Production. Every plant, especially a garden state gardener, how you doing? Thank you for being here. Every plant, especially the plants that continue bearing, right? Have a way of dealing with them a certain way to trigger them and make the produce more and fast and even faster. And I'm not telling you about going and buy anything chemical to, I'm not telling you that. There's natural thing and there's natural ways how to deal with a plant and able to get them to produce more. And I'm going to be doing classes about these things. And guys, I have my garden class going to resume in October. I have a garden class going on. It will resume in October, where we're going to be talking about growing food, the soil. We're going to be talking about everything. All right? But anyhow, there's ways you can deal with plants naturally and trigger them to make they produce faster and even more. And this is for real. And it's not no big deal. It's not no big deal. But yes, there's things you can do to get the most out of your plant. The way you handle your plant have a lot to do with a lot of things. The way you plant your plant have a lot to do with their growth. It's important. The way you plant them, the way you take care of them is very important. And over the years, I've been doing a lot of research and studying about plants. All right? I've been doing a lot of research and studying plants, and I've learned so much. Okay, I think it's more challenging when you go in container. Yes, it's more challenging. But let me give you a few tips of container garden, Tony. Let me give you a few tips. Container garden, because I do container garden as well. I do in-ground and I surely do container garden as well. Now, the trick about container garden is your container supposed to be. Thank you, Fifi. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's on the screen, guys. Anyone interested in the fall garden class, please email me and we'll talk about it. All right. Anyone interested in garden class where we're going to be talking about the soil, the containers. Sorry, guys, the containers and all these things. All right. All right. Got it. Right. Exactly. And if you are a member of the channel, automatically you in the class. All right. So thank you, Fifi, for that. Thank you. I appreciate that. But anyhow, let me tell you a little about container garden. Container garden, your container must always be, I will say, too big, never too small. It must always be too big, never too small. So if it's too big, it's a plus. Anyhow, it's too small, it's a problem. Another thing, sometimes what we do in container garden, we go to the store and we buy whatever it is in the bag. And we throw it in the container and then we plant our plant inside that. That is a situation right there. That's a mistake you make right there. If you decide to go and buy some stuff from the store, what you have to do, you got to mix that with soil, with dirt, maybe dirt from in your yard. Mix it with that and add it into the plants love dirt. Plants love dirt. Compost is only to help boost the soil, the dirt, help add more minerals and more, you check, to the soil. But plant love dirt. So when you go to the store, and you buy the compost or whatever you buy, instead of you just put it into the container, what you do, you mix it. Whatever compost you get, mix it with some dirt. Because plants love dirt. Always remember that. Plants love dirt. Okay. That dirt supposed to be more than you should have 70%, at least 70% of dirt in that container, and the other 30% could be compost. At least 70% of dirt, at least 70% of dirt. Let me power off this. It's just 70% of dirt and 30% of compost. The compost should only be adding to the dirt, the soil. But the soil is the major part. Right. Also, if you only use the whatever you buy from the store, if you only use that, what happening is sometimes when you wet your plant, it just run right through. Because nothing is in there to hold the dampness, to hold the water for the root to able to suck from, even though the water, you understand, the water supposed to just soak the soil. Number one, we water our plants too much. And many people believe that you just need to hold a hose down in your container and just run it down inside there. We water our plants too much. I'm giving you a way how you could save a lot of water here. No, no. When you, hey Urban, how you doing? Thank you for being here. When you add the soil, the dirt, whether it's clay, it doesn't matter. Just mix it up with whatever you have. When you add that into the container and you plant whatever you plant in the container and you wet it, the dirt is what holds the water. The dirt suck the water like sponge. So regardless to what, there will always be a moisture inside that container. There will always be a moisture, and that's what the plant need. No, when you overwet the plant, when you overwet the plant, most of the time, what happens is you washing out the nutrient from out of the soil. The water is actually run because you overwetting, and all the water do is just drain in the soil. And you're washing out the nutrients, the mineral, everything out of that container. You see what I'm saying? So now you all compost you put and your manure you put within your container, all is that water you keep pouring every day is messing it up. I want to show. I just want to show you. Let me see if I can find a video just to show you what I'm talking about. Because sometimes talking, sometimes you really need to. I just like to show what I'm talking about. So give me 1 second. Let me see if me find this video. 1 second. One second, guys. 1 second, guys. 1 second. Coming right there. I just like to basically show what I'm talking about because it's kind of give a better understanding of what I'm really. Okay, this video, the perfect way to water your plants in container. All right, so let's watch this video.
Wonderful. All right, today I'm going to show you how you should water your plant in containers. All right, I have a container of rainwater. This is rainwater I have here. I just love wetting the plant in container in rainwater. I don't worry about the plant in the ground, the one in the container. But what I want to show you guys, I want to show you guys this. When you wet in a plant in container, you wet it just for the earth to get damp. You basically wetting it and you just, you wetting the plant. You wetting the plant enough that the water will not run through. You wetting the plant enough to wet the soil and for the plants to able to get water. But you don't want the water to run out of the container because what happening every time you wet the plant and the water run out of the container, what happening, it start the nutrients and the minerals that's supposed to be feeding the plant is actually running out of the container. So don't over wet your plant and load up water to run out of that container. That means you're throwing too much water. When you wet the plant, the water should just stay in the container and soak the soil that the plants could able to get water. not for the water to run out of the container. So make sure, guys, make sure you wet your plant enough that the plants can able to get water, not for the water to run out of the container. Okay, I'm gonna show you something here. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Now, in this container, this is a moringa. Now, I'm pouring all this water into the moringa. You see what I'm saying? No, what's gonna start happening? You see what start happening? It start running out. What happening here is actually taking the nutrients out of the container. So don't throw that amount of water. Just throw enough to soak the plant, the soil that the plant can get the water. So all the mineral and the nutrient will remain in the container and not running out of the container like this one. Thank you guys for watching.
Okay, guys, that video basically, if I'm pescatarian gardener, if you're still here, that video should give you understanding of exactly what I'm talking about with the container garden. Only wet it enough that the water could just soak the soil, not for the water to run out and pulling out all the nutrients out of the soil. All right? I hope that helped and explain a little more about container garden for you. And what I was saying about mixing the soil, the dirt is what holds the water. Sometimes the compost with all them wood chip, the water just running straight through it. But the dirt is what's hold that container, that water for that container. So you have to be careful. If you notice, when you water less, you notice the soil start to get moldy, and not moldy, but you start to see like stuff start, you start to see like the worms, you start to see like you naturally could see with your eyes minerals up inside the soil. You naturally could see, if you know what you're looking for, you naturally could see that up inside there. But when you keep overwatering your plant, and some people might believe you can't overwater your plant. Yes, you can, because most of these plants do not like water anyway. We overwater them. You see? So all we got to do is water the plant to soak the soil, not to take the nutrients out of the soil, just to soak it, that the roots can get the water. You see what I'm saying? Not to take it out and wash out the minerals. All right? I have 20-gallon container. That's the rainwater very well. This year I noticed the size is large with enough soil to keep the moisture for a long time. Yes, rainwater is my favorite. I'm not a guy who really wet plant, but if I do in container garden, I do wet them from time to time. Why? Another situation with container garden. Container garden, you got to understand, with when you planting in ground is different. When you planting in container is different. Why? The container is on the surface, right? The container is on the surface, and the sun penetrate the container right away wrong. The sun penetrate the container right away wrong. Now, you know the amount of heat is penetrating that container. That's a lot of heat is penetrating that container. That's why your container need to be big enough. That's why I say too big, that the soil could be able to shield the root of the plant. Because could you imagine that type of sun penetrating that container and the root of the plant is jammed on that container with the sun penetrating all day, and the root that jams on the container and the heat, you know what's going to happen there? It's going to start damaging the end of the root. So instead, that root ain't going nowhere because the heat is messing with that root. This is ways, it's so many ways why can't some people don't get success in container garden. It's so many ways. Because these little things I'm saying here today might sound like, oh, please, but believe it or not, this is serious stuff I'm telling you here right now. Because all these is what I already experienced already. This is from what I experienced. If you notice, when you buy a plant, say for instance, you buy a fruit tree, or maybe you buy a pepper tree, whatever. Sometimes when you look in the container, what do you see? You see the root is reached to the container and then it starts to make circle around the plant, around itself. It's not going nowhere else. How else you expect the plant to grow? No, you got to take that plant out and this is why you got to transplant them. I see people growing fruit trees in the same container they buy them in. You can't do that. You have to transplant them and put them into bigger pots. All right? So that's container garden right there. Yes, it's challenging. And why it's challenging? Because there's rules to container garden. There's things you got to know to container garden. That's me. I need to apart my trees. No. You have to take them out if you want them to grow. Say, for instance, you might not want to put them in the ground. You might not want to put them in the ground, but at least you can get a big enough container. I mean, there's container, it might be a little expensive, but there's container with wheel, which I'm got to invest in a couple of them because I have my soursop tree, I have mango tree, I have I have mango tree, soursop tree, mango tree, moringa tree, you know, coffee tree, cocoa tree, which I already know they're not going to produce, but I'm just growing them for their leaf. So I'm putting them in containers that I can, with wheels, you know, the container that with wheels and the handle, and that I can pull them to save me from doing the lifting. So I'm going to invest in these big containers and plant them down inside it because that's the only how they're not going to grow. Once a root is hit that container, that's it. It's going to keep circling until it can't circle no more. Then that's going to keep the plant from growing. You know what I'm saying? I've seen that. Listen to this gardening thing ain't cheap, you know, I'm telling you. You could be, you know, once you want to do stuff the right way, you have to pull, it costs money. And you know what I mean? This is why I eliminate money in my garden. I do it in a form that I ain't got to spend money in my garden. You see my garden, but I don't spend money in my garden. The most, if I want to buy a fruit tree, oh, I might see a plant that I might like that I don't have. That's the only how. But all these things I'm growing, I'm not spending any money. I'm not spending a dime. You see what I'm saying? So, but it could cost you some money. The way some people portray garden, it discourage people. It really do. I hear that, Fifi. I hear that. Pots bigger, expensive, right? I hear that. The way some people portray garden for you, they make it scary as hell. You know why I say scary? What I mean is the amount of money. The way they put it is like you need this, you need that, you got to have this, you got to have this. If you don't have this, you got to have that. And when you look at the expense, by you looking at the expense, you say, gardening for me. So you see what I'm saying? So sometimes you gotta, you gotta think, man. You gotta think and look at people who could really show you something different. Because if you get discouraged from someone telling you you gotta spend $1,000 to start a garden, that's discouragement. That's gonna make you say, no, I can't do garden. There's other people who could show you things you could do and you ain't spend $50. So, you know what I mean? Don't give up. You just got to find the right sauce that fits you, that works. The right place with the information that fits you and works. I'm not looking for no pretty garden. What I'm looking for is production. You check what I'm saying? If I want to build a pretty, I can do that. But that's not me. What I want is production. Production. You got me? 6 roots become root bounded and hinder the proper growth. And that's it. That's it. I know it. Yes, that's it. Yeah, they make it seems like you have to spend so much on. Yes, that's the thing. The way they portray gardening, it scares a lot of people away. Because it's, who want to take $1,000 and start a garden? Who? You put $1,000 in a garden and you ain't even sure about production because number one, you know learning. You ain't even sure about the production and you put out $1,000. No, I can show you how to do a garden for less than $50. All the food I plant, all the food I grow, nothing. Just my labor, just my hard work. That's all it costs me. Save in seed, invest. If you don't have a big window, invest in some kind of lights because you might say, oh, the lights. But remember, when you go and buy the start, is lights they're using. They're not using the sunlight, they're using lights. My recommendation is if you have a big window with light, you could try that. Or if not, you try a grow light, which help you with your seedlings. So it saves you a bunch of money in that form. I had to stop what some gardeners, farmers, too much foolishness, and the ones that can't even grow just start grow and water. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, Urban. This is what I'm talking about. That's why you got to fit yourself with the information is that suit you, your style, the way you want to do it. And you're not just fitting yourself. You fitting yourself around the people who could actually show you result, not just talk. Because many people up there just talking and no action. You can't see the harvest. They know so much, but you could never see their harvest. You could never see the growth. You could never see the production, but they know so much. I personally want to see production, and that's where I put my interest, because this person is showing me something, and they're also showing me production. They're also showing me results. But many people is Googling information, and this ain't no joke. Yes, we need light. It makes seedling grow better. Yes, definitely. If yes, because don't tell yourself, oh, the lights, and because you're going by the seedling is the same thing they use, the lights and chemical too, maybe chemical too. You know what I'm saying? At least you might be using the lights. If you have to adjust because you want to grow certain thing, yes, you have to be able to accommodate and spend little extra, but it's the stage by stage. That's it, stage by stage. Kiss me teeth. You got, yes, I can't. Yes, I personally, I'm about information and learning, and if I'm interested in something, I'm looking for the person who could give me the information, because the truth is, I'm telling you, many people out there don't know what they're talking about. Many people just go and hear a few things, and they come and they act like they know. You know what I mean? I personally, let me speak for myself. I personally, if I come here and I tell you about a plant, or if I come and I tell you how to grow a plant, or it's because I already did it. I done it already, and I seen the result. If you go back into my channel and you look at the videos, my videos then back what I'm saying, because I did it. But many people wanna teach, they never experience. You have to experience before you teach. So I personally, I just want to, any information I put, I want to make sure it's correct. You see, I want to make sure it's correct before I put it out there, because I want, when I say something, I must be able to back what I'm saying. But some people, it's about content and they don't care how they get that view. They don't care. But my thing is, building a reputation means a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? Fox planter. Or maybe they don't have result and can't show the production, but that's how you, Lord, when you make. You see, the thing is, many people don't like to show their mistake. But maybe if sometimes, this is how you learn too. Sometimes your mistake, if you show your mistake, somebody might have a similar problem to you before. So now they could tell you, well, you know what? I think you did something wrong. What you need to do, you need to do it this way, because I used to do it this way, then I tried and it worked. So that's gonna help you. You know what I'm saying? So we are learning from each other regardless. And your mistake. Let me see. Let me close my door, man. All right. Wait, hold on. Your mistake. Wait, hold on, guys. Hold on. Okay, sorry for that. Yes, your mistake could be a treasure to someone, or someone could learn from your mistake. So your mistake could be a blessing to someone. By you showing your mistake, it might be a blessing to someone. So Don't be afraid to show your mistake because that's how you learn. And this is this year garden season, but for next garden season, you want to get better. You don't want to make the same mistake. You want to you want to improve because garden ain't no joke. You looking for food out of this thing. Teach. They have to be humble first. People are not respective to arrogance. We call and share and learn, but that's easier than that's it. That's it. That's it. My thing is, like you say, just be humble. Just be humble and everything will work out. Just be humble. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. For that, guys. Yeah, so wait, hold on. All right, sorry for that, guys. Yeah, so you know, we all could learn from each other and we all should learn from each other because you could learn something, I can learn something. You can share, I can share. I can learn from your mistake and you could learn from my mistake. So at the end of the day, all of us is getting better, better, and better with the information. And this is how it's supposed to be. This is why I come here, I do my videos, and I try to share as much information I can. I do live, I try to share as much information I can because we should able to learn something from each other. And if we could do that, then other people will also able to learn from us. And this is what it should really be about. The thing is, I don't know if anyone understand the blessing of able to come together and put information together, valuable information together, and share it with people that can benefit their life, that can uplift their life, take their life to another place. That's a lot of power right there. So we come together, growing food, learning from each other, helping each other, teaching each other, learning from each other. That can be a beautiful place to be. It's a blessing because what we do, we're creating something. We creating something for the next generation. I understand not everybody take garden serious. I understand, but whatever you're doing, it ain't gotta be gardening. It could be other things. Whatever you're doing, you can do it in a form that it can pass on to the another generation. The next generation already feel like we ain't did enough to save certain things. You know what I mean? So the information is just melting away. You know what I'm saying? So if we have the ability to help and drawing together and push this kind of message. This is powerful. This is message for survive. This is ways of survival. This is ways of helping your kids. This is ways of showing your children how to survive. This is ways of passing down information to our next generation. When we talk about what we call generation wealth, I'm going to tell you this. Generation wealth could be in many different forms. Generation wealth is not just money, and it's not just properties. You see what I'm saying? Generation wealth is not just money and properties. It's also information. It's also knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. That more powerful than any money. You see what I'm saying? Because sometimes when money cannot work, wisdom, understanding fit in. You don't need money in certain time where wisdom, understanding works perfectly. So that's an addition to properties and cash, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So what we're doing here is creating a space that people could, the next generation might see and say, damn, look how these people used to live. At least they could see. We couldn't see. We only could have listened. We only could have hear how, oh, this is our ancestors used to do. This is how our foreparents. We only could hear. But they actually could see. They could sit down and watch. They could sit down and watch a video with you sharing information that can benefit them and their family. Sit down, share it, watching information, even pull their kids with them and watching ways how them could survive. So, you know, I take this serious. I take this more than just posting videos on YouTube. I take it as a place where people could actually come and learn to survive. This ain't just about me posting videos. This is about me enlightening people how to survive, how to grow something, how to, you know what I'm saying? So this is why I take my time and my energy, because I have to do it. I take my time and my energy to show the process, how I do my gardening, the process. Don't spend any money, but still able to harvest tons of food. You know what I'm saying? So it could pass down to the next generation. What else we got to give them? At least knowledge. Yes, we could pass down our property. We could pass down land. We could pass down cash. But if you don't have the knowledge and understanding, you could lose all of this. Many people, many of us, many people has created. This is how powerful information is. Correct information, not just any information. Correct information. Many people create generation wealth. Many people create generation wealth for their family. But because of lack of information, lack of knowledge, lack of understanding, it all went away. From the time they passed, they all went away. People start selling, people start fighting, people start doing all type of stuff. Sometimes they leave it for their one child and leave everything for the one child. But just because of the knowledge, the information, the understanding, they lose it all. I've seen that before. So the knowledge, information, understanding is very beneficial, because this is what will help keep the generation well. It's not just, oh, I leave these 20 acres for you here, and I leave that 10 acres for you here, and I leave this there for you, and I leave that. It's not just about that. It's about how you're going to manage this 20 acres. How you're going to manage this property. There's tax. There's no mortgage, but there's tax you got to maintain. If you never tell your child that, and all they know, my mom, my dad leave this for me, that's all they know, they might never pay no tax. And the tax might just build up. Next thing, they don't have a house. You see what I'm saying? Where knowledge, wisdom, and understanding take its place, without this, the generation wealth could just wash away. In a few years, all that you build for 20 years, your whole life, could wash away in few years because of lack of knowledge. I hope that means something, guys, what I now explained it. Because this thing is serious, 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 serious. So this is why as much information you could give these kids, give it to them. Whether you feel they're not listening, give it to them, because they do listen. They're hearing you. They're just not ready to grasp the information. But they're hearing you. And then all it takes is a situation for them to realize, damn, my parents was right. So knowledge is very well needed, well needed. And don't forget, guys, thank you, Fifi. Garden class resume in October. If you're interested or not a member, feel free to join. Thank you very much, Fifi. Appreciate that. Part of the member. Thank you, appreciate it. If you're feeling general, thank you, appreciate that, Fifi. Thank you so much. Yes, guys. So gardening, it's a valuable piece of is a knowledge that everyone should have, because it's a way of survival. If it's a way of survival, why everyone don't have that information? How to grow and sustain my family, right? Everyone should know that kind of information, but not everyone. That information, you don't know it is already. But I feel like these so when you talk about survival skill, everyone should have it, and everyone have it. They have it. They have the instinct. They have the survival instinct, but they never was able to apply it, and no one never tried to enhance it. So it's in them, but they don't even know it's inside them. Learning to grow your own food. Figuring out how to prepare water for you and your family. Meaning, if there's no pipe, you got to figure out how I'm getting water. Rainwater, wherever, or boiling water, getting water from wherever boil. You got to figure out these things. You know what I'm saying? These things, everyone should know these things. But that's not the case yet. Gardening is a way of life. It's a sustainable lifestyle with life skill, knowledge, and understanding about survival. That is a package. It is a package. It is a package. If you're doing gardening and you're not doing gardening on the level of understanding it's a survival skill and this is what could feed you and your family and others, and however, and you ain't seeing it as that, then I don't know what to say. Because I grow food for us to eat. I ain't growing food just to show on YouTube. I'm growing food for us to eat. Yes, I show certain things because I want to motivate people. It's not just about growing, the harvesting, the planting, the harvesting. That could motivate someone. All right. So yes, guys, gardening season. This is garden. This is garden season, but you know, the only thing I'm getting myself ready to plant is some garlic and maybe a few onions. I already start walking on the soil already, because this is what I do. I walk on the soil and then I put it to rest. I just leave it there till the fall, till the spring. And then when the spring come, I'm in that soil getting ready to start planting. So honestly, it's pretty important to get your soil prepared in the fall. But I also know that some people have to plant their fall garden. But I'm gonna tell you something. Everybody say fall garden is the easiest crop, and maybe yes, it do. But why I don't focus on fall garden, it's limit you. You see, you only could plant certain things. And the real thing you want, the food, the actual food, is not growing. You can't plant it in the fall to get anything, to be able to harvest. The squash, the pumpkin, the edibles, these type of food, you can plant them in the fall to get a harvest. In the summer, my thing is, guys, and I did a video about this. I did a video about this where the type of food you should plant, because what happens is these food could sustain you through the winter. I understand not everybody have the space, but these are the food that can sustain you throughout the winter. You know what? Let me run a small clip of this video, guys. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me just run a small portion of it, because let me see, which video is this? Okay. For this food, guys. When you hold on, okay. When you run this when you think this type of food, you have food. You have food for run you right through the winter. Brassica and them thing only last for a period of time. But when you actually growing these type of food, these are food last. They could store without you even using a refrigerator. They could sell, you know what I'm saying? So just check out this video, guys. Grow these 6 crop survival. This is basically survival crop I'm talking about.
And then putting in the work, Because you know this is fall and we got to make sure that everything is doing good,
Okay. Just
everything
check out
looking
this
good.
video, guys.
Yeah. But one thing I want to say, guys, we all garden different. We all garden in different ways. And I understand we do things different. But when come on providing food for our family and for ourselves, it's it's basically we all looking for the same thing. Production. We are looking for as much food as we can possibly receive within that growing season. You see the spider, they are looking for food. All right. Yeah, so why I'm saying this is, guys, I feel like we are gardeners who are growing food, and sometimes, especially for the new gardeners, sometimes I'd really do think that we need to sit down and plan out our garden season. Not to say things always work out the way we want it to, but the thing is, when you sit down and plan out your garden season, you're able to master a lot of things. All right, you know what you're growing. You sit down and you think, would you like to grow some pumpkin, or would you like to grow some squash, or would you like to grow some peppers, or you would like to grow some potato. Think about all you want to plant, right? And think and sit down and think about it the year before within the fall, right? While you're doing that, when you sit down and you get everything together, you think about the food source, food. What are we growing that we can sustain ourselves within the winter? What should I grow to sustain myself within the winter? So now we I think about squash, pumpkin, potato, whether sweet potato or the other potato. I think about okra. I think about plants that could actually give us a meal. The thing about brassica, I love brassica. I do love brassica. I enjoy brassica. Collard greens, spinach. But the thing about brassica is they love colder weather, right? And brassica could give you a meal. You could able to get a meal from brassica, but sometimes you need something more solid. Like for instance, you want after you eat that could last you for a period of time, right? You want when you eat that could make you say, okay, I feel good. I ain't want nothing for the next 4, 5 hours for the day. That's all you want to think. Okay? Now we start thinking about pumpkins. We start thinking about pumpkin. We start thinking about squash. We also start thinking about edibles. These are edibles. This is a grown, a root crop, but they produce young leaf that you can also eat as well. You just got to make sure they cook properly. So at the end of the day, when you cook, when you deal with edibles and squash and pumpkin, these things could last without a refrigerator. So for instance, you have a refrigerator and the refrigerator go bad, you ain't got to worry because once you allow them to ripe properly, once you allow them to ripe, that this stem get brown, you basically is in a good shape. They can store for a long period of time. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, what are we planning to grow? All right? Sit down, think about it, and do what's necessary. My thing is to make sure that I grow food, not just brassica, not just brassica, actually food that full of fiber, that full of nutrient, food with that can give you food with carbs. Because sometimes too much carbs ain't good. But listen me, if you wanna get full up, you gotta like for instance, you go into a time where food is scarce. You will like to get food with carbs and food with But you just got to watch how you eat it. You know what I'm saying? Because too much carb is it ain't really good. So like what I'm saying, guys. So we have the Edos, we have squash, we have pumpkin, we have Tanya. So basically, what I'm saying is, guys, if you're doing a garden, sit down, think about your garden, think about what you want to plant, think about what makes sense, think about food for you and your family, think about not just peppers. Peppers is just a flavor. Okra, you could cook okra in soup. Okra is food. You catch what I'm saying? We also have Tanya. This is Tanya right here. So this is another crop again. This is a next crop. So we have Tanya, we have Dashin, we have Edos, we have okra, we have pumpkin. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you want your garden to be a garden that can give you food that can last you through the winter. I'm giving you some serious crap here. I know some people don't know much about Edos. I know some people don't know much about Tanya. I know some people don't know much about that. But the thing is, it's important to grow food that can last you through the winter. Also, we have the ginger. The ginger, this ginger, we all know the benefit of ginger. We all know that we need ginger, especially going into the winter. We need to make our tea. We need to get our ginger to help build our immune system. So our ginger is very important. So these are things, what I'm saying here is good thing to plant to get your garden going. All right, so you could produce food for the winter. We also have turmeric growing, and you all know the benefit of ginger and turmeric. Okay, we all know the benefit of ginger and turmeric. All right, we also have turmeric over there, as you can see over there, and we also have turmeric growing here. So this is what I'm saying. You want to produce a garden that can feed you all through the summer, all through the fall, and then you're able to store food for the winter. Now, let me show you what I'm talking about. These are brassica here. These brassica plants since in the spring, right? And now they're doing pretty well. But what I'm saying is, just these brassica is not going to hold you up. You actually need food. You see what I'm saying? Not just brassica. So you got to think about food that you can grow, that can feed you and your family. All right? So this is a big patch of dasheen. We have yam growing, and all this is Edos go over here. Edos, and we also have yam in this area here. We have turmeric in this area here. And over here as well, we have more Edos. So what I'm saying, guys, is try to grow food that can last you through the winter. Don't forget, guys, like, subscribe, and share.
All right, guys. You see the video? I now show you a whole video there. That's basically with all different type of food. And believe it or not, I did not spend. Oh, I did not spend any money on that garden. I set my own seed. You know, I have different type of seed. I have my edos. I have my own pumpkin seed. No, look, the amount of food I now show you there. And believe it or not, that's nothing because I harvest so many head of cabbage, so many, so many food I already harvest out that place. But that video was to give you. I'm sure there's not many people familiar with some of the food I'm showing there, but like Fifi was saying, it's a question of what people really gonna be thinking about growing, what you should be growing. You should really be sitting down and planning on what you're growing to feed your family and to sustain your family. You see what I'm saying? Because yes, like I was mentioning, the brassica, yeah, these things could last. But guess what? If there's no electricity, all of them could spoil. You see what I'm saying? But this food I now show you there, all of them could. Do you see what I'm talking about? All of them could survive without a refrigerator. That's how we got to think. And this is the kind of information I'm putting out there. Survival, how to survive, what type of food you could grow without you got to have a refrigerator. We got to, you see what I'm saying? All the food I now show you, pumpkin, squash, ginger, turmeric, all these food do not need a refrigerator. You see what I'm saying? That's how I thinking, man. Think about food. Because yes, you could have your cabbage, you could have your broccoli, you could have your, but what's there's no electricity for 2 weeks. A lot of food gonna spoil, believe it or not. Especially if you already have them in the refrigerator and they, you know what I mean, and then there's no electricity, then the spoil with the Edos, the dashing, the Tanya, the pumpkin, the squash, the ginger, the turmeric, all them could push in a corner, in a box, and survive. You see? So this is what I'm doing. I'm not planting any and anything. And the next thing, do you see my garden? We heading for the fall. And look the amount of food I still have there because I think about it. We got to grow, and then we got to grow stuff that could last for, give you a long growing season like okra. If you know for deal with okra, okra will produce for you until the last frost. And okra is a healthy source of food as well. Squash. Squash produce for a long time too, if you know how to deal with them. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm doing, and that's what I'm trying to tell people. Certain information, you just got to go and find the people who could feed you with that. Because many people is not doing it. They're just saying that stuff, but they're not doing what they say. Don't forget the shisho. Okay, you saw the shisho, but you ain't see as much, right? I rip a lot of them out, man. Them they was trying to take over my plants, them. So much food to grow and even forage food all around us. Well, that's the next thing again. Food to grow, and there's food you have around you. And then the thing is, we believe, according to how we was brought up, what is food? There's a maple leaf. Maple leaf is good for tea too. If you got, well, I'm not giving medical advice, but I drink maple leaf tea before. Do you ever roll up maple leaf in your hand and smell it? When you roll up maple leaf in your hand and smell it, it almost gives you that lemon lime smell. There's so much trees out there that is tea, that is herb, their leaf could use as herb. There's so much trees out there, their leaf could eat as food, but we don't know. Because we was brought up and only certain food was presented to us. So what else is food? If it wasn't mentioned to you, it ain't food. But believe it or not, you'll be surprised. Yes, Urban, there is also native wild yam. I got wild yam growing. I have wild yam. Them wild yam, listen me. And many, when we got sometimes there's stuff that grows in the Caribbean, right? And we know it from the Caribbean. And we thought it's a Caribbean plant. And then when we realize, wait, no, this plant growing in the cold too. Because many plant was taken from other countries and carried to the island. So sometimes we see the plant down there, but that doesn't mean it can't grow in other place. And we got to be aware of that too. The first frost you meant. Wait, hold on. Oh, right. Okay. I have many shisho dry for tea. All right, all right, all right. Well, I myself, I could tell you that. I myself, them thing almost, listen me, them thing was everywhere. And if you see they spreading like trees, I had also ripped them out of their roots. I just some in the compost pile. I just some around my banana tree. It was too much for me to and I still have a patch growing by itself. And guess what? It now start to push out the little thing for the flowers, then the seed. But I do need some seed because I want to make some oil. I'm hearing that you could use the seed and make oil. So I'm gonna be saving some seed from them as well. Yes, I don't see this shisha field anymore. I only saw a few plants. Yes, I ripped them out. They was too invasive. But I have them in a corner close to the elderberry and them over there. I have some over there. Yes, it's grade 40. Yes, beautiful plant. I'll just enjoy it. Oak leaf. Yes, oak leaf is get oak leaf, roll it up in your hand and smell it. And you're gonna see the beautiful flavor you get out of it. The scent of it tells you, man, this is something good. But guys, do your research before you use these things, okay? I only could speak for myself. And don't throw away your ginger leaf when you harvest your ginger. It makes good ginger tea. You know what? That's a good idea too. I'm sure this leaf could make. You're right. You're right. I'm sure. We throw away so many things, man. I mean, we throw away so many things and don't even know, man. There's no way that the root is good and the leaf ain't good. It gotta be good for something. So, guys, as always, do your research on anything we mention, not giving medical advice. All right? I brought some soursop leaf and mixed them with other tea high in vitamin C. You know what? I'm growing soursop myself. I'm growing the soursop because I get to understand how the benefit of soursop leaf. So why not? So I'm growing it not for the fruit. Well, if it be fruit, that's a plus. But the leaf, I have about 9 of them growing right now. I discovered oak leaf when we were harvesting some meat board and I empty the hot water on a pile of oak leaf and it smelled like yes, that's yes. The hot water gonna even make it smell stronger, but also just grab some in your hand and roll it up. And this is exactly the most leaf I use in my garden is oak leaf. Oak leaf with pine and pine needle. That's the most kind of leaf I use. Oak, pine needle, and maple. oak and maple. My soursop seeds take 4 months to germinate, but they are growing well. That's good. They do take long. They do take long, but once they start growing, it's wonderful. You know what? I might got to start to sell some soursop tree because I have like 8 to 9 of them. Maybe I need to sell a few of them. Yeah, very good plan. Very interesting plan. Yeah, so in gardening, man, gardening is about survival and also providing. And these skills you don't want to miss out and able to providing for your family. And you have the land, you have the land, you have the backyard. You don't want to miss out in that. And we see what happened 3 years ago. And if you really sit down waiting for that to happen again before you try to gain this information, man, listen to me. I have to look into shagbark hickory. I know it. I know the nuts are edible, but I have to look into the leaf. I have a huge tree in my backyard that produce tons of nuts. Man, listen to me. You know what? When we look at cinnamon, right? Cinnamon. When we look at cinnamon, the bark of the cinnamon, I'm sure cinnamon is not the only bark you can use. And I'm sure many people don't even know cinnamon come from a bark. Is a tree, the bark of the tree. That's where cinnamon come from, a bark of a tree. So I'm sure there's many other trees out there we can use the barks. Look, Marby again. Marby is the bark, the tree is the bark again that gives you that bitter. And the thing with Marby, it's so bitter, and they used to give you them for clean out your system. The bitterness was to clean out your system. So Marby bark, so I'm sure there's many other, and even though there's a plant name is red dog, redwood, redwood, redwood. Some it produces a beautiful pink flowers. I have a lot of them. I have so much, but I never realized I had them until I bought one. When I bought one, that's when I realized them. You have so much of these trees and really go and buy one. So yes, that tree, the flowers is amazing for tea. Amazing. And the bark of it, lots of benefit to boil. Listen to me. I'm sure there's many trees out there that have loaded with benefit with their leaf, their barks, even their roots. Even their roots. Marbian boys bed also. Okay, all right. Whoa, observation give you that knowledge. If nature speak to us, if we listen, definitely. That's the thing. The problem is with us, we turn our back to nature. That's the problem. Nature connected to us, but in some form or the other, there was a disconnection because of certain teaching. You neglect it. Certain teaching make you neglect nature. And now we getting to realize the importance of nature. No, we don't. We turn him back to nature. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 second. Yes, yes. Yes, so we actually turn our back on nature, and that's our problem today. No, we're trying to find it back. Because when you basically connect with nature, honestly, it's you know you the feel you feel a lot of things. You look at a plant and it's like these plants just pull your attention. These plants just definitely draw your attention to look at them. And then when you look at them, you realize, then you do some research, you realize, wait, I've been watching this plant for such a long time. And now look, now you realize the benefit of these plants because many plants, many different plants, I draw my attention, and watching them. Sometimes you pass, you walk in, and the plant just draw your attention, and then you just stop and you start to stay on the plant. When you realize the benefit of these plants is amazing. Elderberry. I had so much elder, I still have, but I have so much elderberry. Where I'm planting, they know. Elderberry was that whole place was loaded. But elderberry, I used to chop down elderberry, never knowing these plants had so much benefit. Used to cut them down. Watching them, know that is something about these plants. When I do my research, I realize the benefit of elderberry. So it's all out there, man. As we disconnect ourselves from nature now, we got to find back our connection. No, let me explain something to you. In the older time, our grandparents, in them times, how these people come up with remedies? These people come up with remedies because of the way they was connected. You see, now we have so much distraction. You know what I'm saying? We have so much distraction that we not seeing. You know what I mean? We're not seeing. We're not connected because of distraction. In them time, them people had nothing to distract them. All they had was time. Time. So they had that connection with nature. So nature was revealing these things to them. This is why, you know what I mean? Like, this is why it was so easy for them. You have a headache, they already know what to give you. Your stomach hurt, they already know what to give you. You see what I'm saying? Because of the connection. But we had lost that. And we hit an age now where people aging, where people urging back for the connection. You know what I mean? But you can't. The problem is, it's like they say can't serve two masters. Because you're gonna love one more than the other. Why I say that? Why I say that? You can't serve two masters because you're gonna love one more than the other. Why I say that? Is either you connect yourself with nature or you connect yourself with the world that we living in today, where we connect to everything. You know what I'm saying? Where all the distraction comes in. We choose. We don't want choose. So the disconnection between nature and ourselves today, it was created and intentionally. You don't know it, but yes, definitely. Nature, you was something else was created, like an artificial, something artificial to nature. And that's what we cling to. We cling to the artificial because the real thing is the connection with the trees, the connection with the butterfly, the connection with the bees, the connection with everything. You know what I'm saying? We lose all of that. No, we we so entwined with the opposite that we not even realizing that the more of certain product you use is eliminating the atmosphere, is polluting the atmosphere, and is eliminating the bees, the birds, the butterfly. If you really connected, you want to know all of that. You're going to know that I cannot use these things. They is not good. Because if your pollinators, our pollinators, if we're getting rid of our pollinators, what we think gonna happen? And we're doing it without even knowing, understanding that, man, these things really mess up these pollinators. I'm not gonna lie, this year I see pollinators like I used to. It's like it's getting less and less and less. And who doing it? We contributing. So we are part of having nature, so much things happening. We getting rid of all it, we chopping trees left, right, and center. All this calling soil erosion and all these type of stuff. So we are the one who creating a lot of things as well. You see what I'm saying? It mightn't be you, it mightn't be me, it mightn't be, but you know what I'm saying. Papa, I had to cut that baby boy. It grows so fast. Yeah, they grow fast. Having some berries I'm making. Yes, they grow like crazy. They and porkweed, man, from the time them things shoot up, but time as you look, they're way up in the sky already. Oh yes, you can't put price on all this. Not at all. Chew on the leaf, root from them to make insect. Because the natural one will be all exactly. Yes, that's what, and this is what I'm saying. We eliminating the real thing that we're supposed to connect to something artificial, and you see it happening today. We call it artificial AI. That's the wall we go into. AI, in artificial intelligence. So soon all the natural thing will be out of the way, especially for the new generation. Because now you could turn to your phone and ask any question. You ain't even got to type. You could press a button and ask question and it just show information for you. So I just know, to me, being able to survive is important. Because believe it or not, guys, serious time is coming ahead. Serious time is ahead, guys. My organic fertilizer will be available pretty soon, where I will be passing out a few, and I will be looking for results. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, this is basically what I'm gonna be doing for results. You know what I mean? Because I give the direction how to use it and how much to use. And you cannot mix it with artificial fertilizer. When I say artificial fertilizer, you know what I'm talking about. It's got to be, or is it organic, and it's got to be everything about what you're doing got to be organic. So it's basically for, is an organic fertilizer. Everything natural about it. Okay, so that will be coming soon. I will be talking about that more in more of my life, but it will be coming soon. All right, so I think I will be passing out a few samples that people can use, and let me hear about let me get some feedback. Okay, at least let me get some feedback on it. Yes, the super juice. Let me get some feedback on it. It's an amazing product. And you know, if I talk about it and I'm standing up behind it, it's got to be something good. I did my own research, I did my own experiment, I see my own result before my eyes. So I can speak about it because I see what it's capable of. I tried it on many different plants, and I've seen the the benefit of it. I'm seeing the you see the strength in the plant. You see the, I don't know. Listen, I don't know if everybody do like me, but there's certain ways. You know, I test my plants and I test my soil. I do test my soil, but I don't test my soil like other people. I do my thing my way. And I think I'll have to buy a ladder for you. Well, yeah, you have to get a ladder, Fifi, for climb them trees. Yeah, man. Yes. Yes. So, yeah, so, you know, there's a lot of video will be coming, especially for members and for the garden class. There's a lot of videos will be coming because I will be showing people how to test their soil. And they need no, all them thing I'm seeing. I'm gonna show you the natural way. I'm gonna show you how the people, you know, in the time nobody had these things where they had, but they know. They know when the soil needs something. So the soil is lack of something. So I will be doing all these type of classes where I will be showing you ideas how to know when your soil is, the feel, the texture, how to know when your soil is lack of nutrient, how to know when your plant is well balanced. and full. How to know your soil improve from the year before, or it went down. Your soil is supposed to improve, but the method gonna show you, my soil went down from last year, so I got to do something for bring back up this soil. So this is real science we're gonna get into. Real science in growing food and testing soil. And we don't need to go crazy testing new soil. We could test it manual and original. And listen to me, you see, the thing is, don't get caught up with them names. That's the thing. And I'm trying not to get caught up with the names that they've been mentioning. Because if you listen to them name, it could confuse you. Oh, these type of, you know what I'm saying? Just keep it simple and natural. We're going to keep it simple and natural. How to test your soil. I'm going to do a video with, yeah, I did a video, but I wasn't talking in the video. I was just showing the things that I do. But I'm going to also do a video breaking it down. Breaking it down, why I'm doing this and why I'm not doing that, and why I'm doing this and why I'm doing that. I'm going to be doing all of that in a video will be coming pretty soon. And we also going to educate ourselves about soil and the richness and knowing when your soil need more nutrients or more minerals, knowing how to attract earthworms, because believe it or not, you could run earthworms out your garden, run them out in different areas. Depends on what you put in. You could get rid of them. Depends on what you put in the soil. And you need the earthworms is so important in your garden. So important. So we want to save them. So the method I'm using is to keep the environment clean, is to purify the environment, is not to add any toxic in the environment. While gardening, it's supposed to be pure and clean. Everything nature agrees with. Okay? That's the type of gardening I'm trying to promote. So even though I come up with my organic fertilizer, which is Planter Super Juice, even though I come up with that, I know everything about it is natural. Even the water is rainwater. Okay, so I didn't went to the pipe. It's natural water that settles for days, for months. You know what I'm saying? So, and strain at the same time. So in case anything, just trying to do it as natural as possible as we can. The ingredients is remarkable. They work, listen to me, they work on a high level. The ingredients works on a pretty high level. I've seen it for my own self because I try it on different plants. I might plant 5 plants or 7 plants, and I might only put it on 2 and look at the result while growing. So I know this thing, what the ingredients is remarkable. And also, if you if say you purchase or I give you one, if that's the case, for sample, it's wise to listen to the instruction. Because you see, I could tell you only put certain amount and then you could put too much. And then that doesn't mean you could get the result I'm looking for. So you got to follow instruction of how to use it. Not just pouring it to the root, not just doing whatever. You have to follow instruction because this is how you're going to see the result from these plants. And you test it by using it on other different plants. This is a well put together organic fertilizer, the super juice, well put together and also tested by me. So I know what's in there and I know it works. All right, but you got to follow instruction for it to work the way I expect it or you will expect it to work. You can't just do what you feel like because at the end of the day, it's the result that works. That's matter. If I tell you this thing will help your plant produce faster, then you got to follow the instruction. And then you can mix it with other type of stuff. That's another thing again. You see? You can't mix it with these artificial stuff. You got to keep it natural. So very soon, damn, time is flying. Very soon, very soon, I'll be putting out a few samples so I can get some feedback on the result, which most likely I wouldn't able to get back result till next spring. Right, till next spring. And the good thing about it too, it's work perfect in a container. It work beautiful in a container. Like you're growing food in container, it work beautiful. You know what I'm saying? It work beautiful as well in container. So say for instance, well, I'm not gonna say this yet, but say for instance, like the fall, like for the fall, you're bringing in your plants them for the fall. Like all right, boy, we don't beat the winter, so you know what? I'm going to get ready for take them in for the fall. So let me give them a little super juice. So that super juice now will strengthen them that they could deal. That food, that juice will supply them through the winter. So this is amazing. And I'm hoping to get back feedback. By next year, I should be getting feedback on this product. Thank you guys. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful, organic, well put together, ingredients, amazing, organically grown. Yeah. All right. So yes, guys, what's going on, man? How the garden season treating you guys? How was your garden season? Your fall, your spring into winter garden season. How was that for you? How that garden season treat you guys? I know we into fall right now. I know we into the fall right now, guys. But how you guys doing? How the garden going, man? What's going? All right, Urban, thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here, all right? You have a blessed and wonderful day. Thank you. All right, guys, how was your garden season this year? What's going on? How was your harvest? What's going on, guys? I know it was very challenging. I know that for sure. Well, this is another thing about gardening too. The prepping, man. You know, growing, okay, growing the food is one thing. Growing the food is one thing. The other is start prepping, start putting stuff together, start canning, start drying whatever you want to dry. It's not easy. It's really not easy. That's why this year I have grown a lot of food that I don't need to can, or I could just put them in a container and let them dry. You know what I'm saying? No, not container, a box. Like my Edos, my Tanya, I just put them in a box in a nice area. And every time I want to cook, I just go and grab some. You know what I'm saying? Because the truth is, canning it ain't easy. You got to can, you got to, I mean, it's a lot, not just growing the food. Growing is just one stage. Growing is just one part of it. It's after harvest time. And when these gardens start producing, they're producing left, right, and center. They're producing food. Every day you go in your garden, you're coming out with a bowl of food. You gotta, it's you gotta can your refrigerator. You don't want to put everything in your refrigerator because you just never know. So you might rather can some. So I try to grow food, pumpkin, squash, these type of food that I don't need to do too much. You know what I'm saying? Canning and preserve, lots of food. Okay, all right. All right. No, no, no. The walks never end. The walks never end. And this is what's gardening about. So we try to grow as much, and then when the time come, we start to store up food. Man, listen to me. You see, I have some peppers here. I harvest these pepper, I think it is yesterday. I harvest these pepper yesterday. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm doing with these pepper, I'm air drying them. I have them in a basket and I'm air drying them. So after I air dry them, I can whatever, either put them in a container or blend them, turn them to powder, and just put them in a jar. But these are ways, these are ways you are not able to do your stuff. You don't want to everything in the refrigerator. You want to have stuff that you could dry. You dry them, and then, all this is pepper. All this is pepper that I dry. This is sweet pepper. This is sweet pepper. I take the seed out and I just dry them. Just dry them. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to cook, you could just take up a piece and put it right. You understand, and get your flavor. I'm trying to stay away from too much fridge. So canning, oh sorry, tomato and yeah, pepper. But I'm just trying different thing this year. Hey GT, what's going on? I'm just trying different thing this year. You know what I'm saying? Because yes, we could can. Yes, we could use the refrigerator, but yet I also want to dry. You see what I'm saying? In case, man, I'm just trying, I'm just trying different things because this is how we survive, man. This is we got to set up ourselves that we, in case anything, we can survive. We still could survive without the fridge. We can survive. So that's you know what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to do, man. Oh, you're back in the bush. All right. You see. So I don't know if you guys can see this. This, all right, you can't see, but this is a basket of pepper. I'm just half drying. Then I don't even want to dehydrate them. I just want them to dry. There's a pepper. Well, I don't know the name, so I'm not going to even talk about it. But this is what I'm trying to do, man. And the thing about it is, this is the pepper that I dry. Cut out the inside, cut off the bottom, right? As soon as you wet this with hot water, it get back the life inside of it. So once you dry them properly and store them, you ain't got to worry about spoiling. You see what I'm saying? You make sure you dry them properly. They got to be properly dry. Then you could put them in a jar and just save them. You see what I'm saying? All these is ways I'm trying to, because these are ways of surviving without, if you don't have access to certain things, you're still able to get the things you want or the things you need. Also ferment vegetables I make, okay, but we eat it so fast. Okay. I dehydrate in the well, yeah, in the fall. This is why I'm going so hard right now with my drying. You see what I'm saying? Because in the fall, basically you're gonna have to turn to dehydrate to dehydrate because it's cold. You know what I mean? So in the fall you might gotta do that. You know what I'm saying? But now, no, what I'm doing, I'm air drying these. Then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put them in a paper bag. In one of them paper bag. After they don't dry, feel them dry out, I'm gonna put them in a paper bag and just leave them. Then when I find they dry enough, then I might say, all right, let me put them in a jar. But these are ways how we gotta get back to how it was. Not really get back to how it was, but at least get back to ways of what if. Hey, Mama J, how you doing? Thank you for being here. And guys, don't forget, man. Don't forget. Don't forget. You see these? These are pepper seed. These are pepper that grown from my super juice, right? These seeds, the pepper that's in this container grows from my super juice. So, and these was some humongous bell pepper. Huge bell pepper. So this is the seed come from these. What I'm saying is save your seed. Save your seed. And all this pepper, I'm just drying my seed them and I'm just put up your seed, guys. Seed might become better than currency in the future. So save your seeds. And these seeds, let me tell you something. These seeds come from a line of growing peppers for over 10 years. So these organic seed here, this ain't no seed that you're getting from the store. These seed come from, I've been growing these peppers for over 10 years. So it ain't mix up and they ain't mix up. This set here comes from the super juice that I have. Them grow from the super juice. But other than that, the original from these mother, they all grown from a line of 10 years. Never mix, just continue. So I have some serious seed up in here. You know what I mean? Original seed, organic seed. It's not easy to find organic seed today, believe it or not. It's not easy. But I have organic seed. I have been making sauce and canning with harvest. That's wonderful, Mama G. That's wonderful. Because you have to say, you have to. All these harvests you keep harvesting and you're not receiving, and you got to store something. So canning is a good way. You also could freeze some, but just think about in case. You could freeze and you could be eating, cooking, you know what I mean? But canning and dry, whatever you can dry, also. Planter, will you be selling seed or you just stone? Well, I have some organic seed, and yes, I think I will be selling some seed. Guys, if you're interested in organic seeds, thank you for mentioning that, Fifi. If you're interested in organic seeds, seed that come from a line of 10 years and plus, you can always email me and reach out to me. These are, anyone will be, these seeds are priceless. You understand? These seeds come from trees that grow 7 feet tall. Let me get a history of these seeds. A matter of fact, let me give you a little history of these. I like that little. Oh, you like it? It's also valuables up inside the Babaji. Valuables. This is bell pepper. All right. Okay, so thank you, Fifi. That's my email there. Now, if this come from a line of 10 years and plus. I've been growing this pepper, same pepper. But what I do, like every time I harvest, every year, I reset seed. You see what I'm saying? I reset. So these come from a line of 10 years of seed. So this is organic pepper seed. Another thing about these seed come from 7-foot tall pepper trees. 7-foot tall. And you know what? Let me find that video just to show you. Last year, where they come from. Let me find out that video. Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. I like to show my proof, guys. Okay. One second, guys. 1 second.
A tree, and it's 7 feet tall. Okay, okay, guys, this is a pepper tree, and it's 7 feet tall. Have you ever seen a pepper tree 7 feet tall? Look it right up there. That's 6 feet right there, and goes up 7 feet tall. This pepper tree is naturally 7 feet tall.
All right, guys. All right, guys. So you see what I'm saying? That's the line of these pepper, right? And now, guess what? The tree that these pepper come from is almost 8 feet tall today. So that's the history of these pepper. Growing from 10 years ago, right? And now I'm able to grow 7, 8 feet peppers from them. Right now, the pepper that these come from is almost 8 feet tall. So these are organic seed. That's the kind of seed I grow. So anybody, if you're really interested in some real good organic seed, you could reach out to me. You could get okra seed, you could get pumpkin seed, you can get all type of seed that I grow organic. All right. So yes, I think I will be selling some seed as well. When you first start grow those seed, were they also that tall? When the thing is, when I not know, there wasn't 8 feet tall at 7 feet tall at that time. I used to get them like 5. When I now grow them, I used to get them like 5 feet. And they just, over the years, they're just getting taller and taller and taller. But I do learn some new tricks how to improve their height and also their production. These like my babies. These pepper is like my babies. It's like I know them ins and out. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, they did not start out, but still to get 5 feet, 6 feet, 5 feet at that time, that was still pretty good size. But over the years, it's like but the thing is, I wasn't really studying the height. This thing was always tall, but I never studied the height. It's last year I say, wait, damn. Let me measure this tree, man. Just something tell me to measure the tree last year. And when I pull the tape, I realize the pepper tree is 7 feet tall. And I'm saying, damn, I never see a pepper tree that tall. It's a good thing I record it because it's on record right there. It's a good thing I record it. I record it and I'm not just talking about it. But all the years, I used to grow pepper tree taller than me. I grow is jalapeno pepper. I got jalapeno pepper 6 feet already. But them time, I wasn't studying it like that. His last year, I decided, let me measure this thing just to see how much is it. And yes, you know what I mean? But when I started, it was like, I say like I say maybe like 4 feet when I start out. I was getting them up to 4 feet in height. Then over the years, they're just getting taller and taller. No, they're heading for 8 feet now. So next year, I will definitely be trying to get them to 9 feet. So, so I'm on a road now where I'm trying to break my own record every year in my garden, breaking my own record in my garden every year. You know, would you be posting a list of variety of seed for sale on your community page or about page? Yes, definitely. Definitely. I'm still harvesting seeds. So yes, I definitely will be doing that pretty soon. The type of seed I have, because they all organic seed. Every seed I have right at this moment is organic. Have been growing all of them. My okra, I've been growing them for a long time. So, and then you guys see how I grow my food. You guys see I don't use no farm of, you guys know I don't use them things. So, yes, there's organic seeds. So, yes, guys, I will be selling peppers, pumpkin, all type of seed, okra. I will put up that list pretty soon. Thank you for asking that question, Fifi. Thank you. I've never seen such a type. Me myself, me myself is last year it pulled my attention. Last year, said, damn, that pepper tree is tall. This year, it and you know what? Let me tell you what happened. This year, it reached 8 feet in such a short time because last year I planted pepper in March. This year is April, May. And by September, it already reached 8 feet. So even the time frame is different. So in a shorter period of time, as I was able to beat the record I did last year in a shorter space of time. We're still in September and it's almost at 8 feet tall. Yeah. So I have a journey with these peppers, man. And now with this super juice, I keeping records now of the ones that grows from the super juice. So that's another good grade of pepper coming out. That's awesome. Your video showed that. That's it, man. I'm so happy I made that. I'm so happy I made that recording because it's record. So if I tell someone, man, I go 7 feet pepper tree, and they say no, the video could prove it. Perform of these plans, so those will be so that definitely, definitely. Was last year the first time you had ton pull out the ladder to harvest peppers? No, no. The truth is, you know what? You know what? Let me show you. Let me see if I could find out. Oh, damn, I might be able to find that. But I wanted to show you some cayenne peppers. Let me show you some cayenne pepper. Let me see if I could find that video. Give me 1 second. Taller than me. And that was a few years ago. Hold on. Let me see. Is it a short? Hold on. Give me a minute there, guys. Sorry for that. Give me a minute.
My pepper tree is taller than me, man. Look, from the ground come right up. Taller than me. I now pick one. See, still have more. Taller than me. Peace and love.
Did you able to see that one? That's a cayenne pepper. Yeah, I've been growing pepper tree, and that video about 3 to 4 years old. Sorry, all the question. I feel like this was no. I enjoy the question. No, no problem. Yes, thank you. Thank you. But then you see the pepper? That's also a white. That's what I'm telling you. You know what I mean? All right, GT, thank you for being here, man. Thank you. All right. Have a good one. Yeah, so I've been growing pepper tree over my head for a long time now, man, for a while now. But I'm just saying, last year is what pulled my attention, and I'm glad I did it. I'm really glad I did it because now I have it on record that I definitely did it. So yes. So yes, guys, man, thank you guys as always for coming through. Thank you guys for all the support. Don't forget, my super juice will be coming soon. I will be putting up a list of seed that I will be selling, organic seeds for the fall. So guys, please stay tuned, and don't forget you can always email me if you're interested in getting the food seed, and you will get more information about the super juice pretty soon. All right, so thank you guys as always. Thank you, Fifi. Thank you, Orban. Thank you, GT. Thanks everyone for coming through today, man. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys as always. Peace, love, and blessing to each and everyone. All right, have a blessed day. All right, thank you guys.